Good afternoon. This is Angela with Creatively Done. I'm going to do another tabletop that I have. And of course, I am going to do a granite pour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black. I'm going to put it down first. Hopefully not let it run all the way off. And then I've got my other paints mixed. Let me pull this back on here before it goes all the way off. The first thing I did on this one was, it's a plastic tabletop. So I tried painting it with some kind of fusion paint, and it just did not do anything. And I was gonna just cover it over with polyacrylic, and I said, wait a minute, let me try just doing some kind of a pour here that will take care of the colors, and hopefully you can see all this. Like I said, I'm trying to use paints that have been sitting around for a while. Hopefully you can see this on the video, and I'm getting it all over my smock, of course. What else is new? But hey, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Let me move these others out of the way. I don't think I'll be using them. And hopefully I won't get it all in the split cups. I have 3D split cups that I've already put paint in. And I'm just wondering what I'm going to spill first. I think it's going to be the giant mixed bottle of black. Or will I get it all over my smock? Which one, guys? Let's take bets. Let me see if I can get some of this off here. And this should be thin enough to allow it to move. I am getting it all over my smock. Now I'm going to show you this, because this is how you get clothes that. Oh, I remember when I painted that one. Okay, so I'm going to set this right here, and it's running off. And I did level this, by the way. And I'm just trying to put some black paint on here. I'll set that right there. Let me show you my smock. Isn't that fantastic? Wow. What a good job. As long as I don't get it all over everything else. Now, I'm going to try to, probably not the best thing to be wearing, but it's getting a little chilly. And by chilly, I mean it's in the 60s. It went from 74 down to somewhere in the 60s. So let me set this up out of the way. Pull this closer and make sure I get it all over me. I have a black dress on underneath. That should have been what I was wearing, but it's, like I said, getting a little chilly. Now, if I still have this in frame, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I have my split 3D printed cups with little handles so I can hold them. See, that's the difference that Ken did for me. And then I have bronze black and 2 blue in that one. And this one is gold, white, acrylic white. This one's True Flow acrylic white. Mars black, it's also Saks. And what I'm going to do is start at one end, and this time I'm just going to drizzle slowly. Oh, I am going to get it all over this shirt. And that seems to be enough. See if I can get it to come out on this side, because there's a little bit of paint left in there. This time I'm going to try to not wiggle it as much as I usually do. Boy, this shirt is going to be covered in paint. And that seems to be the end of that cup. As much as I hate to do this, I am just going to make this worse. So I'm going to take that off and throw it towards the sink. And then grab a hold of my cup that has the black, bronze, and blue, you can see. And this is a different type of pour spout. I thought I'd try the blue in here to give it a little bit different vein. And I want to have more black. I like the black negative space. Go there. I'm just going to stop over here and take a vein in towards the center. And see how that looks. I do have more white that I can mix in there with the gold. And I'm trying to pull it off the side a little bit. This one I may just take in. See if I can get a little bit more of the gold. Let me do it my way. I know I can't see when it's coming out. I'd love to be able to show it on the video, but see how that works. And I still have more of the white, but I'm going to take my omelet knife and I'm going to pull through this a little bit. The extra that's on the side, I'm going to use on the side. I'm also going to grab a little bit of the stuff that's still in the cup and just tap along the side and encourage the paint to come off on the sides. This is not exactly rocket science, but believe it or not, there's a bit of science to it. It's mostly in the mixing and the work that you do beforehand. And all I'm doing is taking off little bits of paint. And it is chilly in here, so taking off that shirt may not have been the smartest thing I've done today. But I can close the door and come back to this real quick. But I'm going to try to stretch it a little bit. And this one's a little bit lighter, so I don't have to worry about, I just need to be able to put it back on the cups. I'm going too fast. Let me see if I can move that out of the way. How to get paint on everything all at once. The hardest part sometimes is being able to tilt your, well, this case it's not a canvas. Canvases are a little lighter, a little bit easier to tilt. This, not so much. So I'm going to move that out of the way. I have a whole cup of paint over here also that I still could pour on. So I'm going to hopefully keep this in frame. Oops. Grab it from the underside and then tilt it towards the other end. See if you could see any of this moving. It's not coming out anywhere near like I want it to. But we always say that, don't we? Get a couple of pads here so I don't smear too much. I'm going to try to come right down the center of this. You know, when you see a painting that's done that has this kind of effect on it, it's a little different than when you're actually doing it. And it's a lot harder on this side of the visual. Carrying the paint off on the side. And let's see if I can get this in the center too. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use this one because I can dab in there and not. More of a quick. And my smaller one will come in handy. I always have a tendency to want to wiggle it, and I don't really want to do that on this one. So I'm just kind of dragging it through. And hopefully let's see. This is looking odd, but you know what? Every time I say that, it ends up looking fantastic when it's done. To me. Probably people that look at it are mostly kind, but it's so much easier to paint with a paintbrush. And I'm going to cover a little bit of this with black on the other side. I am literally going to dump paint into this cup and then pour it over the part that I'm not crazy about to make negative space. Since the background is black, if you can see what I'm trying to achieve, this is way too much paint, but hey, it's paint I want to use anyway. So what I'm trying to do now is create negative space around the colors that are there. And I can see some really nice cells coming up. I think my radio is going to start talking to us here. I don't know why it does that. And I'm going to come on this side and I'm going to do the same thing. Cover the parts that I want to make look like negative space. And for me, that's breaking up the heavy white. Try doing this. I've been working with this stuff for over a year, and abstract it is, because there's no way to do this with an exact science. For those that do, I envy them. I really don't. I just have fun with this. And as you can see, it's going to have some character by just the fact that I am not following any rules. Maybe that's what we should call this. No rules. Just right. Now, before I forget, I'm going to set this down. I'm not going to do any more. Maybe tilt a little, but not much. And I'm going to take my torch, which is also covered in paint, if you can see it. Turn it on and torch this so some of the bubbles will be burst. You'll get that nice vein feeling. See this? I don't like that right there. This is a new knife. This is a new paintbrush. Everyone thinks that if only art is created with a paintbrush, we're in big trouble. But I don't think that way. I think art is created with color and with the desire to see that color, stretch it through. You can see, all I'm doing is picking up color from the side that's run off, and I'm just reintroducing it as if this was a giant flat brush. And since there's black underneath here, instead of using a paintbrush, it's kind of like using a palette knife, only I don't have a palette knife on me right now. I do have a palette knife, but I just have to see if I can get some more. The blue I don't think had any silicone in it, so there's not going to be a lot of this nice cells going on here. The black did, and the bronze should have. I'm going to be careful that I don't. Now this is looking kind of spiffy. Now I'm going to take some of the paint that I did have on the side, and since I want to put it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a drizzle, whatever's left in my bottle here, and I'm going to drizzle down through and create a vein. Not much left. And if I was smart, what I would do is let it go. Let it fly off there. And then see if I can get some of these to give me some cells here. This is a messy one. But hey, it looks better than that black, whatever kind of top it was called. Let me see if I can stretch this a little. I always have to remember to turn off the torch. And I have all this other paint here that I am not going to even try to use. See what happens? It gets real muddy, and then you end up with gray, and I don't want gray. So what I'm going to try to do is just pull it through. I'm going to actually walk around the table here, so give me a second. Old lady walking. Pull it off, and see what I got going on here. And that's kind of interesting. See, when you're doing something like this, and it's something that you find appealing, that's all that really matters. Because this is all going to be subjective anyway. And like here, like just dropping this paint onto an area that I don't care for the color. See if I can pull this in, make vein that connects to itself. I like this part right here, and I wish it had done it over here. But let's see if I can stretch it out just a little bit. See if I could drag any of this off the bottom here and not dump this entire cup of paint, which is a good possibility. So the good news is that I'm in a studio where neatness doesn't count for once. And I'm really glad of that. That looks kind of busy, but it's okay. I don't know if I should drag it off this way towards me. If you can still see it. Let me see if I can get in here close enough. You won't see it for a second, but yeah, good. It's going to move. And if you can still see any of this on there, that's better. I like more movement. I like to move it, move it. I like to what? Move it. And some of the areas that didn't cover too well, the dark background will help me out there. Let me see what we got on here, this side. That's covered pretty well. So you want to get the sides too, because that's what makes it really look nice when it does kind of roll off the side, because everyone goes, how'd you do that? It's the consistency of the paint. And mine was a little less than perfect consistency, so it's going to have some, see, I didn't want to do that. I got a gray edge there. Don't want gray. So I'm going to smear it over with some black and let it be. This whole cup, not sure what I'm going to do with that. I might just do a canvas and make it a gold ring pour. Of course, I have to find somewhere to do that because this is my work area. And if you could see any of this on this side, good. Because the cups are in the way. And I don't want to dump them on the floor. That looks cool. I like that. I like it. And play, and all you'll do is be here all day. But when you try to do something, give it your best idea first. Like, oh, this is what I really want to do, and I want to try to make a black background, and I want to this and that, and then as it evolves, it will tell you what it needs to be. So I'm going to try to pull this again towards me, because this is nice, and so is that. Let's see if I can reach in here and make it move. And it's moving. And if you can see that, oh yeah. Hard part is figuring out where I left it so I can put it back on. I have it on cups. Normally I wouldn't have it on cups. But since I've moved it all the way this way, what I might try to do is just keep going and then move it back. See if I get anything that I like. And now I'm going to just literally, you might not be able to see this on camera, but rather than hold it up, I'm just going to tilt it up and stretch. If you could see any of that. If not, just trust me, you'll see it in a minute. All the experts say, to do it slowly, let it move, and come back to center. And see, I'm getting a lot. And don't hold your hands that are filthy with paint over top. I'm trying to figure out what color had all of this nice marbling, or not marbling, but all the nice cells in it because it had silicone in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come this way. See everything moving? Try doing this with a paintbrush. You can't. I'm going to move it towards myself if I can tilt it without pulling too much of the paint off. Hopefully it's still on camera. If not, I'll set it down and you'll be able to see where I left off. That big white part was bothering me. Okay, so we're back on our cups. And this is how you get paint all over your torch. Because I'm not going to get any size there. See that nice vein that we had on the other side? Now it's kind of gone, but I see some more popping up here. Oh, good. Keep the torch moving over the paint, everyone says, so you don't cook the paint. But it's getting cooler in here, so that may be what's having an effect here. I don't know. Looks like a galaxy in the black part, and that's nice. Now if I could just remember what I tell everybody else, just leave it be, stop where you are, don't keep going, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Don't keep pulling the paint off. And I have but you should run it around the bottom of your canvas, your top, whatever it is, so that the paint does stop pulling off. And I guess that's as much as I'm going to get. It's a little galactic in the black. Come on, little pup. Come on, little bowls. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Boy, you can feel the heat of this when it gets cool. I don't know what the temperature is in here now, but man, did it drop fast. Sun went down and adios heat. I know everybody else is freezing. And trust me, I'm not complaining about the weather, but it is a big difference from today. Now I'm going to tilt this away from the camera again. Sorry about that, guys, and I don't know how to grab a hold of it, so let me see if I can get some of this back the other way. You can see the bottom of the table, I'm sure. Just hold that there and stretch these out again. Yep, look at all this paint. The gloves will look perfect, won't they? Look at that. But that's not too bad. I'm not unhappy with that. Now I know why everybody ran their fingers along it, because you could tell where the colors are. This looks very galactic to me, and I like that. I'm happy with that one. Okay, so now I do not know how to turn the video off without destroying my my phone. But this is Angela with Creatively Done. Go out there, try something, use your paints, keep trying, and get something creatively done. I'm going to try to pop a few more bubbles here and get a little bit of paint off my hands. I can't believe I can't get any bubbles over here. But I know this was a long one again. Mine always seem to be longer than everybody else's, but probably because I'm trying to do too much. And when you're trying, oh, I do like the blue streak though. It looks like a galaxy to me. Okay guys, that's all for right now. I'm going to try to do more videos, so I keep wanting to do this. And hopefully get more subscribers. So if you like the video, make a comment and please subscribe. I follow all the masters, and I really wish they took time to follow some of their followers, because we really are trying to support one another, whether it's monetarily or emotionally or even just by being a follower or subscribing to our channels. That would be much appreciated. I've watched you guys for the past year. Mine may be a little boring, but it's kind of like anything else. We're all trying to do this. So have a great day. This is Angela with Creatively Done. I hope you could see some of this, and I hope you liked the process that I did. Have a great one. See you the next time.